All right, let's talk about one of the biggest shakeups happening in the business world right now, artificial intelligence landing squarely in the world of corporate finance. So is it this amazing, game-changing tool, or is it a threat to a lot of traditional jobs? It's time to unpack what's really going on.
Yeah, just picture that for a second. Instead of waiting around for those slow quarterly reports, the top brass gets instant, data-driven insights. And look, this isn't some sci-fi movie anymore. For a lot of companies, this is quickly becoming the new normal.
And that, right there, is the big question, isn't it? To really get what's happening, we've got to look at both sides of this thing, starting with the massive potential AI is unlocking.
So, first up, let's dive into the opportunity side. And I mean, how is AI actually being used right now? Not to replace people, but to give finance teams a serious boost.
Its impact really breaks down into four main areas. First, it's an absolute powerhouse for forecasting and planning, chewing through millions of data points to predict things like cash flow. Then you've got risk management, where it acts like this vigilant watchdog, spotting fraud or credit risks way before a person could. It's also a huge driver of efficiency, automating all those tedious, repetitive tasks. And finally, it's becoming a trusted advisor, giving crucial support for big decisions.
This idea of a co-pilot is probably the best way to think about it. The AI isn't trying to fly the plane solo. It's the one handling the insane amounts of data, running the complex calculations, and freeing up the human pilot to focus on the big picture. Where are we actually going?
And what's so wild is how these benefits just stack on top of each other. That incredible speed and accuracy, well, that leads directly to huge cost savings. And the ability to analyze all that messy, unstructured data, we're talking news reports, social media trends, you name it, that gives leaders insights they've literally never had before. It lets CFOs stop being just number crunchers and become true strategic leaders.
So, at the end of the day, the opportunity here isn't just about saving a few bucks, it's about fundamentally changing the finance department, making it a leaner, smarter, and way faster part of the whole business. But you know what? That's only half the story.
Okay, so now we have to flip the coin and look at the other side, because for every one of those powerful benefits, there's a real threat that comes with it, and these concerns are absolutely real.
And this is where you see that tension, crystal clear. That incredible operational efficiency that companies are so excited about. Automating things like invoices and reconciliations, well, that's the exact same thing that puts jobs on the line, especially for folks just starting their careers in finance.
And it's not just about jobs either. There are some other really tricky issues. You've got the whole black box problem, right? What do you do when the AI spits out an answer and nobody, and I mean nobody, can explain how it got there? Then there's the danger that AI, trained on our old data, just learns and then amplifies our own biases. And of course, hooking up all your sensitive financial data to these new systems, well, that opens a whole new can of worms for cybersecurity. And that really gets to the core of the threat here, just blindly trusting these models. Think about it. An AI trained on 10 years of a stable market. What's it going to do when a sudden, crazy downturn hits? It might give you advice that's completely, disastrously wrong, because it's missing that nuanced, gut-feeling judgment that only comes from human experience.
So, okay, we've got this huge opportunity on one hand, and this really serious threat on the other. So where does that leave us? Well, the answer, the resolution, really comes down to understanding what AI can't do. And that's where we find the human edge.
Look, AI is an absolute beast at computation, but it can't lead a team. It can analyze a contract down to the last comma, but it can't sit across a table and negotiate it. It can run a million scenarios, but it can't create a company's long-term vision. These things, judgment, persuasion, strategy, leadership, that's the stuff that AI just can't replicate.
Which brings us to probably the most important takeaway of all. This whole thing, it's not a competition. It's really about a new division of labor. It's simple. AI handles the data. We, the humans, handle the judgment.
And when you look at it that way, as a partnership, you start to see how these new roles take shape. The AI becomes your superpowered analyst, digging through data at a speed no human ever could, flagging risks you'd never see. And that frees up the human to be the real strategist, to take those insights, walk into the boardroom, and persuade, lead, and guide the company with real vision. All right, this brings us to the new bottom line. We really need to reframe how we think about this. It's not as simple as asking, is it good or is it bad? The truth is, AI is both of those things at the same time. It's a disruptor and an enabler.
It's that classic idea of creative destruction, right? It's definitely tearing down some old ways of doing things, but it's also building up this incredible new capacity for strategic finance that we've never seen before. The outcome really just depends on how we adapt.
So, that leaves us with the real question we should be asking. It's not, will AI replace CFOs? The technology is already here. This shift is happening right now. The question is, which CFOs are going to learn how to work with AI and which ones are going to get left behind? The future of finance doesn't belong to the machines. It belongs to the people who figure out how to work with them.